Wagwan. Big up to all my peoples in the building watching my reaction. Liverpool 3, Leicester City 1. Great match. For the neutrals, I would say, very great match for the neutrals. Liverpool came with a lot of intensity. But before we start, please share, subscribe, like we said, we would like to be at 500 before the end of the year. So please subscribe, and get the likes up. You know the deal. And then share us in all those spaces. All right. Big up to Mandem watching the channel. This match, I'm going to try to slow it down so that people understand me a little bit better. This game was a game of two halves, right? First half, let's talk about first half first. Liverpool came in with some serious high intensity. I mean, it was just attack. We had most of the ball, but personally, this is my opinion, I didn't think that we were in control, even though we have most of the possessions of the ball. It didn't look like we were in control. Every time they break, it felt like something was going to happen. And in the first 5-7 minutes, we were on their neck. Kind of same thing that we did against Tottenham. It looked like the game was going to be over before it even start. One thing that I didn't like in the first half, it was just, as I was saying, we had a lot of the ball, but we had no control. There was no composure between the players. The positioning was all over the place. We were just all gung-ho. At one point, Virgil was the last guy, but he was literally on the other side of the center circle of Leicester City. Back in the day, I would have said, yeah, that's how we won. You know, especially when Klopp first came to Liverpool, the first half of Klopp, it was exciting. People were not ready for that kind of intensity. Klopp got ridiculed so many times for being such a high intensity, so-called heavy metal football. But it worked. It worked, and we won a lot of games. We won trophies with that. But towards the end, you could realize that it wasn't working. Teams were ready for, were very strategic on how to play Liverpool. They figured us out in lame terms. Tottenham, we were a little bit more in control than that. When we lost our head, they scored 3 goals. This one was straight juggler. We were on their neck. In my head, I'm like, okay, a lot of people have said that Liverpool always start off slow. Or it could be that Liverpool saw that City drop points, saw that Chelsea drop points, so they were like, let's just finish them off in the first 15 minutes. But I will move towards the fact that it has been apparent that Liverpool, majority of the games that we played, we started off slow, and then the second half we come in and then we do what we do. I think in the guys' mind, they were like, okay, we need to start going hard. And we did the same thing at St. James Park. It didn't work for us. It worked for us very well against Tottenham. But this first half, you could tell, I'm probably going to be in the minority, and I'm okay with it. But the first half, the style that we played has cost us a lot of goals. Today, the same thing like we played Tottenham. Not at one point I feel like these guys are supposed to score a goal. But the way we played the first half, it became like a basketball game where as much as we were going at them, if they break one time, they get an opportunity. I don't know even how the mistake came about. You know, a lot of people say it was Trent, some people say Gravenberch, some say Robbo, some people say Virgil. If there's 4 or 5 people, that should tell you that we were not properly positioned ourselves to absorb a counter-attack the way we were playing. So when the goal came in, Robbo gambled a little bit. Ayew just caught his bluff and then rolled him over, and then the goal was just a beautiful goal. I mean, I don't even think he would do it ever again in the entire season. He played off instinct and it worked. Virgil was out of position. The ball deflected off Virgil's foot. And most of the goals going against Alisson right now are always been a deflected goal. They scored, I mean, we turned it up. But every time we turned it up, you could tell if they break, it was always worrying. Yes, we have Virgil in the back. We have Joey in the back, who I felt like he played quite well today. But our fullbacks today decided that they wanted to compete and see who can have the most crosses in the box. Both of them, I realized that, hey, you know, because Robbo had the record and Trent is taking over right now, so Robbo wants it back. And they were just so much crosses going in that I was like, okay, what are we doing? There's no control on what we're doing. There's no plan. And then towards the end of the half, Gakpo, out of nowhere, go. Straight shot. I mean, that is like, it's becoming a typical trademark of Gakpo right now. Second half, I knew the manager wasn't happy when they went into the halftime. You could tell the manager wasn't happy. In his press conference, he's saying otherwise, but the way they played the second half is way much better than what they did in the first half. This time, they were more composed, cool, calm. The passes were moving very, very more methodically. It looked more surgical than what we were used to. The so-called boring Liverpool football came back. They had one chance, I think, in the second half, and that was it. Because every time we attack and they get the ball, we got the ball back again, recycle around, either we go into the Mo side or we go in towards Gakpo's side. The goal came very early because of how we were moving with the ball. And I was way, way more happier the way we played in the second half than while we played in the first half. In the first half, if you were neutral, you're going to enjoy this because this game went back and forth. And that Jurgen Klopp, when he first came to Liverpool and we started winning, that is the type of football I liked. But towards the end, I was like, slow it down. Everybody was used to say, bring the line back. We are the high line, bring it back, bring it back. So when Slot came in and he was more, same style, but he calmed it down, it made sense for us. It took the fans, Anfield fans, a little bit time to adjust to it, but eventually we did. Second half, that's when we went back to Slot ball. And even then, I thought that it wasn't a full Slot ball because you've seen what Slot did to Manchester United at Old Trafford. You see what he did to Real Madrid. You see what he did to Leverkusen. You see what he did to Man City. I always say that playing Brentford was one of our best games we played. That is the Slot ball, where we are very surgical of what we do, whether we have the ball or not. Even when we played against Chelsea and everybody was like, Chelsea outplayed you guys, but not at any point that we were worried that Chelsea was going to score. The goal that Chelsea scored was an amazing goal. It was perfect, right? Same thing as Forest, same thing as AC Milan. But nowadays, at least goals that are going in is because we are out of position, mistakes, deflection. I know a lot of people want to say it's because Konate is not there. Maybe. And it's not the mistake that since he's been gone, these goals are flowing in left and right, even though Joey is playing well. When I did one man damn saying with my brother Ants, I told him, I said, when Alisson comes back, watch Virgil going back to his nonchalant, relaxed, defense type of play that he does, where a lot of people like myself don't like because they feel like he doesn't take it serious. The game is so easy for him, he loses his train of thought. And that's exactly what has been happening. Ever since Alisson came back, Virgil's been on chill mode. Too easy for him. He doesn't even sweat. I don't even think he sweated today. Even though those guys were throwing long balls at us, there's a couple of times like he was bullying Daka and them boys. It was quite embarrassing. Liverpool is such a great team, right? So we could always come. I don't want to say we could always. We do come back. I don't like that because eventually one day you will not be able to do it. And that's the one that hurts you. But today has been great. We won. Chelsea dropped points. And what did I tell you guys? I would like 7 points clear, 7 to 9 points clear of the runners up, the second place position team that is chasing us, because 7 point clear with a game in hand. If we win that game in hand, that's 10 points. If it's between 7 to 9, that's between 10 to 12 points ahead. Towards when Champions League starts to pick up, we could be able to just coast our way towards the end. So even if you drop points, you still got a few buffer before you could actually start to sweat. Towards the end, between April and May, Liverpool's games in the EPL is going to be so tough. So this is our opportunity to stretch the gap as much as possible. When those time comes in and we have to play Champions League, FA Cup, and EPL, we don't have to overstress. McAllister, to me, man of the match today. I know Gakpo scored a goal, but McAllister was the man of the match. He played so well, especially when he pressed forward and he got the ball. And I think that's where we need another midfielder where I'll break Szoboszlai in McAllister's position and send McAllister up in that number 10, because when he's there, he's very dangerous. One thing that I'm glad that in the second half, the fullback stop was just launching the ball, just kept launching the ball. I'm glad that the manager talked to them and they both stopped in the second half. Yes, they did cross some balls in, which they're supposed to, but it was much better when they were on the byline and then they're crossing compared to them just launching it from the center line. The manager is still doing great things. You could tell second half was what slot ball is all about. Personally, I don't think we even got to that slot ball yet, but compared to the first half, second half was much, much better. First half was way too chaotic. It had no control about it. It was just everybody was all over the place. That's why the goal came in. Hence the reason why people are saying, well, Virgil should have done it. Oh, Robo, why did you get rolled over like that? Trent, where was Trent at? Gravenberg, you kind of were just like nonchalant, just chill. And, Robo said maybe that was the wake-up call they needed. We got the 3 points after second half playing so well. I think we should have gotten 4 goals. VAR called one off. That was a couple goal. I don't think that was an offside, but the offside line that they looked for was okay until they decided to look at something else. And then they were, oh, you are offside because Nunes infringed on the goalkeeper because he made himself live, even though Nunes was not trying to even touch the ball. That's my reaction. I'm excited that we got the 3 points. We need these 3 points, and this is exactly where I wanted Liverpool to be at. 7 to 9 points ahead of the chasing pack with a match in hand. We have to win the match in hand. Next match, we got West Ham. Szoboszlai is suspended, which is, I think, is going to be a tough match when we go to London. It's going to be a really, really tough match. But if we come out there with 3 points and Manchester United is next, yeah, it's going to be exciting. Big up to Mandem. And before I get out of here, people, on Saturday, I got something special for you guys. Nothing big, but a little small, just to make you guys excited, get you guys ready for the new year. I want to shout out Ross on Twitter/X. Handle name is Ross-LFC. He gave me permission to use some of his contents. I promise you guys gonna love this. You guys gonna love this. So please join me on Saturday. It's gonna be a live show, so I want you guys to be there with me because I can do this one by myself. We're gonna preview the West Ham United match, and then after that, we'll just have some fun. We're going to the next year. Liverpool is number 1 in the EPL, number 1 in the Champions League, semifinals, and then FA Cup is coming in, which I think we could also win that too. I don't want to say we win the quad, but we are going to win quad. Big up to people. I'm glad everybody is here. Everybody had a great Christmas. Whatever you celebrated, I hope it was family time and you had a good family gathering. Big up to Mandem. I appreciate you guys. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. And Crazy Bold.